The next step would be probably some camera motion. We should at least create a camera now so we can see it without using the custom view. So we can actually see it through the camera, because then we will see that two-dimensional background, which is important for us to make design decisions. So layer, new camera, and if you want to exaggerate the three-dimensionality of your 3D setup, I always use a more wide-angle camera. And this camera presets here are based on 35mm camera, kind of like the standard photo camera. So 50mm in the 35mm camera, it's like your regular angle of view of a human eye, but we want to exaggerate it. Maybe not make it totally like a fish eye, but wider. So that way it will feel like the elements that are close are closer and elements that are far are farther. So I'm going to make it like around maybe 28. That's a good, standard wide lens setup here. Okay, and you can see already that these letters now are kind of exaggerated, the ones that are close by. And now we can actually go into the camera tool and start to manipulate it just as we would do in our custom view. But now we are actually manipulated the position of the camera. And let's take a look at it. After I create a camera, you can see there is a camera layer here. If I open and look at the transform properties of the camera, you can see like everything is pretty much in the center, with the exception of the position, because it's scooted back, but the point of interest is exactly to the center of our composition. And if I start to like orbit around, you see that the position is changing. The point of interest is still the same. One thing to keep in mind, and I'm going to double click on the camera here. This is a two-node camera. The two-node means that there are two main point of control. That's why two node. And one is the position, another is the point of interest. You can change that, you can make it one node, then you're only going to control the position of the camera. And sometimes it's a good thing to do. But in our case, let's leave it on two node, because then we know that the center of wherever we turn our camera around, and as long as we don't change the point of interest, it always is going to be in the center. I'm going to do something here with this camera tool. This camera tool has like several options. If you click and hold it, you see it has an orbit, track, track X and Y, and track Z. And you can like separately control those different tracking options. If you leave it on modified camera tool, kind of as it is as a default, then you have still all of these available by accessing the right buttons on your mouse or your tablet pen. It really depends how you set it up in your system preference here. So you would need to go to your mouse settings and just select the right click, the middle click, and those will be the ones that you'll need to use to access all those different tools. And same with the tablet, you will need to access your tablet settings from the system preferences and set it up. You need to have left click, right click, and the middle click to be able to access all those different tracking options. I'm going to close this out, back to After Effects. In my case, I'm using pen tablet, and I have all this set up. So I have my click and my right click and my middle click here on my pen. So that way I can just, by clicking those different buttons, easily control the positioning of my camera. If I just click, that will be orbiting around, but modifying it with the mouse buttons, now I'm actually like tracking in and out. That's what I want. Or now I can also, if I click another button here, it's going up and down. That's almost like a tilt or a dolly right and left. So I'm going to undo, because I want the point of interest to be zero out the center of the composition for now. So this is pretty cool. I think it's working well. Now I can see the background, I can see the clock face, all the numbers.